Hello, welcome back to another video. Today is June 5th, 2022. And today I'm going to be going over my Senate predictions for the midterms this year in November. I haven't made an election video in like a year because it's been very limbo, but as of right now, it's looking bad for Democrats. Things have changed. Uh, it is narrowing back up a little bit more, but Joe Biden's approval is still getting worse, and there's been a war since that has been started. Uh, so, if you're interested in any of the things I have to say about this, uh, if you want any credibility, in 2020, I predicted every single electoral vote 100% correctly, where they're from, all of that, mostly margins as well, besides a few points less in states like Louisiana and stuff. But, you know, that's can't do much about the margins really. At least I was right on every state. In the Senate in 2020, I got two states wrong, but you know, at least I got the Georgia states right. I wasn't too invested in the Senate races, but now I am, and I have a lot of confidence coming forward. The House races, I'm going to be a little more involved in and more because I had bad House predictions as well. It was mainly just the presidential level I did really good on. In the governor level, I got every state right. Uh, but I do think that I can do a lot better this year with the Senate, uh, and get probably almost every state right on the governor level as well. So if you haven't watched this channel in a while or don't know this community, this color for Republican, this shade of red means 15 points or more, which is safe red. This would mean 7 to 14 points, which is likely red. This for me means 2 to 6 points, which is lean red, and under 2 points for me is tilt red. Same thing with Democrats, 15, 7, 2, and under 2. So there's a lot of new circumstances around for midterms. I've never actually done midterm predictions, so uh, the closest thing to midterms I've ever done is the 2021 Senate elections, which I don't believe I ever did my prediction on. Never posted, but I just was not involved in it. I was made a surprise, but at least I didn't upload the official prediction because I would have gotten that wrong. But yeah, starting with the Senate predictions, 15 points or more for Republicans. I have no issue saying North, South Dakota, Idaho, Arkansas, Louisiana, both Oklahoma seats. There's now an Oklahoma special election. I also have no problem saying Kentucky or Indiana. I'll get to Indiana. But these are the main safe states for Republicans that I have. Obviously, a lot of these other states, and Alaska, the Senate looks like it's going to be a Republican versus a Republican because of the ranked choice voting primaries. So it looks like it's going to be safe red, which I've never ranked Alaska as safe red, and it has never been safe red since I have done predictions. But if it's two Republicans going against each other, it's going to be a Republican either way. But yeah, those are the safe red seats I have. A little bit under that margin of 15 points, but over 10 points, I have Indiana and Kansas. I have both going to Republicans by about 13 points. I have Iowa going safe, actually. That's the first time I've ever marked Iowa as safe as well. Which is... Oh, and South Carolina. Sorry, there's multiple states I missed. I am not... I need to get back into this groove of doing this. But... So yeah, 41 safe seats, 2 likely seats. Missouri I have is likely, but by less. More so, like 7 points. So, yeah. Those are the likely red states. And I'm going to get to Utah because I actually, as of starting this video, I don't know what I'm going to rate it because I want to have a whole conversation about that state. But for the safe blue states, I have Washington, Oregon, California, New York, Vermont, Connecticut, Maryland, and Illinois as a little bit under 15 points, about 14 and a half. That's just my opinion. So yeah, 45 likely and lean. 45 safe and likely states for Democrats, and 44 safe and likely states for Republicans. Another likely state I have for Republicans is Florida. Marco Rubio is very well approved of. He has a strong re-election campaign, and the only time I've ever seen Marco Rubio losing in the polls is like 2 weeks ago on a poll made by a pollster I've never heard of, saying that would happen. So yeah, this a lot of these races are going to be pre-decided. Everyone's going to know a lot of these races are going to go in November. Everyone knows Ohio's probably going to go red. It has been. Rob Portman from here is retiring. So the other day there was a primary in Ohio. Trump's preferred candidate won like usual, J.D. Vance. However, he's presenting himself as a moron against one of the most favored Democrats in the entire state. So it looks like it's almost like he's trying to make it a toss-up state on purpose. And he's a moron. Although, on one level, it might be smart because he's making Democrats want to spend money here, which I don't think is worth it right now. I think we have a better chance in Utah, and again, I'll get to that towards the end of the video. But yeah, Ohio. Lean red. In North Carolina, the last time I did the Senate predictions, I had it as tilt blue. I had no idea who's going to be running. I had no idea how weak the Democrat candidate was going to be. I didn't know what the environment was going to be by now. And in my opinion, North Carolina, about 2-3 points towards Ted Budd. Again, Donald Trump's preferred candidate. It usually takes a while for Trump's preferred candidate to start leading in the polls. So again, like in Ohio, it was really close because some people didn't even know yet. And in Pennsylvania, Dr. Oz was also a Trump endorsed candidate. Although I do not think he's going to win. I think Pennsylvania is a lean blue state as of now. Not a change off of my last characterization. I do know I used to have Pennsylvania as blue, and I have not changed it. Reason being, John Fetterman is an absolutely fantastic candidate for the Democratic Party. And again, like J.D. Vance and Herschel Walker, Dr. Oz is a moron. And he's being encouraged by the larger part of the Republican Party to be running. There is smart Republicans. I'm not saying there's not. And that's why I do think that there is going to be split independent vote. By that, I mean like 3% independent, not like 1% like usual. Or I've even seen people on Twitter in a supposedly red wave year, saying they are going to switch they're going to switch to Democrat in Pennsylvania for the first time in their life because they do not have any courage in Dr. Oz being the next senator, and they do not believe in him. And you could even see his ads. He had an ad where he was shooting a gun. He looked so uncomfortable. Like, he can't even appeal to gun owners. But that's more of a pettiness thing with me. I don't think celebrities have a place in politics. At least Donald Trump was a businessman. Successful or not, we're not 100% sure. But still, he had his case. Maybe Dr. Oz should stick to healthcare plans. But no, he wants to go completely to the right and take out people's faith in him. And it sounds like I'm getting mad that he's sabotaging his own race. I'm more so on the Fetterman side. I'm decided this year I'm going to be more open on my views because I want people to understand that I'm not fully being biased, or if I am, to call me out on it. But I really don't think John Fetterman was pretty basically unopposed. He won every single county in Pennsylvania and literally ended up having a stroke before that happened. It was a stroke, I believe, anyway. Fetterman has a ton of heart problems that they're discovering this past few months, but it's not going to hurt his campaign, likely. It didn't hurt Biden's campaign. It's not going to... Oh, he didn't have any actual problems, though. Again, that's for Pennsylvania to decide. I'm a Marylander myself. I have no idea how Pennsylvania's going to vote. Another lean blue state I have is New Hampshire. Originally, I had it as likely, and then Chris Sununu was thinking about running, so I thought he actually would, so I had it as red. And then he said he wasn't going to run, so I have not changed it from a lean blue state since. Again, as a Democrat, I can tell you how enthusiastic I am that he did not run, but I also don't hate him that much. So, I don't know. New Hampshire, lean blue. There's not any great candidates going against Maggie Hassan. She's doing better than she did in 2016. She won that in that state in a red wave year against a decent candidate. She's not going to win against a bad. She's not going to lose against a bad candidate. I don't see how. And I know there's been shifts, but all towards the left in New Hampshire. Northeast shifted so much to the left under Biden, and usually every election since 2000 has been shifting them red. Another strong candidate I have in a swing state is Arizona, Mark Kelly. You know, you can hear me right now. I have never, ever, ever marked Arizona as red since 2020. Not under the Senate, not under the governor race. Actually, I believe I had it under the governor race last year, but things have changed. I don't have that anymore. I do believe Mark Kelly, who has a great approval rating and is a moderate Democrat, can win in a arguably tilted red state that's shifting blue. It's all because of Maricopa County. Mark Kelly outperformed Biden in 2018 and 2020 on Joe Biden's 2020 results. Maricopa County is very encouraged by Mark Kelly, and he's an astronaut. He's an astronaut. He's gonna win. That's cool. It's cool. You know, I used to have Arizona as likely blue for Mark Kelly. At this point, there is a decent candidate running against him, but I don't think it's going to be enough to flip the state over 2 points blue. Plus, I have him winning Arizona by 3.8% right now. That's my guess, and that's being a lot more conservative towards the Republican Party's vote share in Arizona, even though it's a shifting blue state, and it has been for years. Another state that I'm going to do before I reach Utah is Colorado. Likely Michael Bennet. You know, it's a little bit of a red here again. I don't think Republicans are going to win the national vote. I think they're going to lose it by 2 points. But still, Michael Bennet not going to lose here. He's a strong candidate. He's well approved of, and in a strong blue shifting, soon to be progressive state like Washington. I don't see any reason Colorado would even think about going red this year. And I even have Colorado's toss-up leaning red House race going blue, and I have a lot of the blue districts going red right now. So again, I have a lot of faith for my party in Colorado, but I also have a lot of knowledge about it, and I know how the shifts are going and how it's been going. So, and as you can tell by now, I'm gonna have Democrats keeping the majority. I have them getting governor seats as well, but I have them losing a lot of House seats and losing the House. So if you're a Republican, you might be thrilled that if you lose a few House seats, or I meant Senate seats, then we're probably gonna get nothing done anyway, is what I meant to say. And again, another lean blue state, Nevada. I see Nevada going by probably more to the right of Arizona, oddly enough. Nevada has been stuck in place since 2016 on every single level. Governor, Senate, House, presidential has not been over 5 points for like any candidate. I believe Senator Rosen went here by 5 points, Jackie Rosen, in 2018, but that's it. That's it. Now we have Catherine Cortez Masto doing a lot better in the polls than they were at the beginning of the year. Same with the governor. Both candidates have heavily improved under Nevada, and I do think that since Nevada's economy, you know, there was a lot of unemployment issues in LA or Las Vegas. I meant not LA, but you know, if 60% of the states in the bottom county, you know, you'd figure that if unemployment's being solved, a lot of that county is going to be happy, and that is the deciding county for Nevada. No matter what, you can win the entirety of Nevada's counties 100%, but still lose Las Vegas by like 10% and still lose that state. It's ridiculous, and that's why Nevada has been trending. No particular place. Also, Latino vote. There's not a lot of Latino vote in Nevada, but it's more than some other states. I'm just trying to mention everything that I think is possible to take note of these midterms, because I'm likely not going to be making 3 of these videos a month as I was in 2020. More so like 2, maybe like a Senate prediction in the first third of the month and a governor prediction in the second third. Every 10 days, I'll probably upload a video, something like that. Now you can already see that I have Democrats not losing any seats, but picking up one here. And I do believe that they are going to keep Georgia. Again, once it gets towards the end of the year, I do believe Georgia, even though it's already leaning blue right now, it wasn't a few months ago. A lot of these races are starting to narrow up as it gets toward the middle of the year. A lot of people are starting to be, a lot of the decided vote is already decided, and that almost always goes towards Democrats, no matter what type of year it is. And I feel like even if you're a Republican, you don't drastically disagree with this. Maybe Pennsylvania and Georgia, but you know that the case for Democrats and all of their incumbent seats is not so bad right now. And I hope you can see that with me. The reason I left these 2 states left is because I'm not sure if I'm biased on these 2 states or not. I do believe, even though I've never had this race as red, I do believe Wisconsin is going to go blue by like maybe 5,000 votes. It's going to be so razor thin, and I don't even feel comfortable rating it as any party, but a pretty good candidate running against a negative 20 approval Ron Johnson, who I can guarantee you his conflicts with Russia are going to get brought up in the debates. And if he doesn't show up to the debates, he's going to lose them. And if he loses the debates in a toss-up race in a so-so year, he's likely going to lose. His approval is so bad. It's worse than Joe Biden's. It is worse. Yeah. And I feel like Wisconsin is as red as the country is blue right now. So I think that's a pretty good example. His approval is worse than what it's like Mitch McConnell level of bad, except he's in a toss-up state, so that makes it a way bigger deal. And again, I know there's going to be a lot of conflict about Wisconsin in this video if anyone sees it or comments on it. I guarantee I get a comment, that's going to be the first thing, or Utah's characterization. Wisconsin is going to be highly talked about, and I never even thought about the state going blue until 2 weeks ago when more data started coming out for Wisconsin, and I plead the pollsters to come out with more for Wisconsin because it is such an important race. Democrats need to carry 2 seats and barely hold on to this House for any hope they have of winning the 2024 elections. If they can put forward their popular agenda, they can win this election. They can win 2024 is what I'm saying. But with Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema, I don't see it happening at all. I don't see any possible reason this happens. Where Republicans would lose the 2024 elections like this. Even if they had full control of everything besides the presidential seat, it's just going to be all blamed on the president, which blames to the party. Bad gas prices are being blamed on Democrats. I'm not saying it's not their fault in any way. I'm just saying it's being blamed on them. Just voting right restrictions. I've heard some people blame it on Democrats for not passing it. That's because 2 certain Democrats solely blocked it. Joe Manchin solely blocked abortion laws being brought into the actual law, not the Supreme Court decision of Roe v. Wade. He blocked that about a month ago. So with all this Democrats causing trouble within their own party, it's going to be viewed as it's their own party problem. And finally, we have Utah. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on here, but I have Utah going as around 4 or 5 points to the Republicans, drastically closer, but horribly approved of, unfavored candidate running here. I believe Mike Lee, and not to mention Democrats dropped their own candidate to go with Evan McMullin running here. Remember, Evan McMullin had 25% of the vote in 2016, and uh, you add Hillary's like 20% of the vote, which is, I'm assuming, in a semi blue shifting state, not really, but like, a couple few points more to the left over the past few years. I see that being, it could be a 3 point deficit just with 2016 numbers applied to this race with Democrat numbers with the independents. And not to mention, Donald Trump was not nearly as unfavorable in Utah as Mike Lee is right now. And I'm assuming he's going to win his primary anyway. So, this is finally it. I apologize for it taking so long. I just have so much to talk about, and I have to go to the governor election video right after this. But I missed making these types of videos. I just didn't know when to start these again. And I feel like starting in like February would have been pretty awkward because it was in such a limbo area. But I'm generally good at these election predictions. I do think that the end of the year result will look something like this. I could definitely see Wisconsin and maybe a state like Nevada going the other way around. But as of right now, I don't see Democrats losing their semi kind of a majority, not really, because of Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema. If Democrats can pick up 2 seats, I believe they'll win the 2024 elections. If Democrats lose the House, I don't think the 2 seats will matter. Thank you so much for watching. I enjoyed this a lot. Have a good day.